right, welcome everybody. It is October 19th, and it is the first game of the regular season. The Charlotte Hornets are in San Antonio at AT&T Center to take on the Spurs for the regular season opener. It's going to be a good game tonight for Charlotte, as let's get straight to it. First things first, everything you need to know about the Hornets for tonight's game, as LaMelo Ball will not be playing for Charlotte after the last home season game. It was an injury, so that was kind of a setback for the Charlotte Hornets. It was a huge problem for them though, but it's going to be a huge problem for them tonight, especially without Miles Bridges, who obviously a lot of wrong stuff going on off the court, you could say, and then a lot of problems throughout the Charlotte Hornets organization with James Bouknight, and even at the time Montrezl Harrell is now on the 76ers. So LaMelo Ball is out for today's game. As I was just saying, he is out with an ankle injury that he suffered against the Wizards in the preseason. So Charlotte, a little off on that. They're not going to have their star player tonight, so they're going to have to trust some guys like the new rookie Mark Williams at Duke University and some others, including P.J. Washington, step up for the Charlotte Hornets. Gordon Hayward is healthy, and he is back for the Hornets today. So I'm rocking his jersey, actually. And also Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, some other big players for the Hornets. Let me go and see what's happening in the comment section right here. All right, somebody wants the Spurs. Of course you want the Spurs to win. Of course you want the Spurs to win. First things first, I'll give a recap on the Charlotte Hornets offseason, as we are just coming back here for the new season. So first of all, Hornets, they make the play-in. They lose to the Atlanta Hawks by 30 points, and we let go of former head coach James Borrego. So now we bring in the guy Steve Clifford, who we weren't even talking about bringing him back for a second stint, as he was the Charlotte Hornets head coach from 2014 onwards, as he coached Kemba Walker and the Charlotte Hornets to 2 straight playoff appearances after officially being let go by the Hornets at the time. This is his second stint with Charlotte. We weren't really expecting this. We were thinking of a guy like Mike D'Antoni, and this is something crazy. So back in June, Kenny Atkinson signed a contract with the Charlotte Hornets after he met with Michael Jordan. So we think Atkinson's our coach, right? Well, you'd be wrong, because Atkinson, I guess this is a smart move for him. I would have done the same. So he literally decided not to coach the Hornets, and he decided to stay as the assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors right behind Steve Kerr. So Charlotte's in trouble. They got to find Mike D'Antoni or bring in a guy like Steve Clifford. He already has some type of chemistry with the Charlotte Hornets organization. Why don't you bring him in? And that's what the Hornets did. They are without their leading scorer from 2022, Miles Bridges, who averaged 20 points a game. He's had a lot of off-the-court issues that started back at a battery charge back in June. And James Bouknight, who was arrested this Sunday after a DWI and was found with a loaded pistol in his hands. So a lot of off-the-court problems for some Hornets players. But today, it's all about basketball. It's all about to start off the season. Thank you, Zach. I know. I love the classic jerseys. Yeah, right. The classic jerseys are so awesome, bro. I love any type of classic jersey. So I love this Hayward jersey. I try to find a LaMelo classic. I just can't find it anywhere. So as you can see, the Hornets still warming up for today's game. As we can put up, the estimated tip-off time is 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see how it's going to turn out. Also, for the scoreboard, we're going to have to go a little old school, as you guys can see right here. I'm not going to be able to update it every second because I do not have anyone working backstage for me today. As I'll have some other guys on here, like my color and sometimes play-by-play member Sam. So he's not here today, so I'm going to have to just make it that. Just got to change around scoreboard. I'll give you guys, and at the end of each quarter, I'm going to put in who has the lead and who doesn't. Just keep everything simple. As I can go ahead and show you guys what's happening on Bally Sports. If you want to watch the game, because I unfortunately cannot show it to you all, you can see Terry Rozier warming up for the Charlotte Hornets, as he is one of the leaders on the court right now alongside Gordon Hayward. These two guys are going to have to help the Hornets win their first game of the season without LaMelo Ball. And this is Gordon Hayward's first game since February 7th after his injury and a little bit of COVID got into him as well at the time. So now we get to see a fresh Gordon Hayward back on the court, as we are still hoping that LaMelo Ball will play one of the two games this week as they take on the Pelicans Friday night. I believe we'll be broadcasting that game. We can check out some of the Spurs players, including Keldon Johnson, Josh Primo, Devin Wassel, Trey Jones, and Josh Richardson, as now the Spurs' best player last year was All-Star DeJounte Murray, who is now with the Hawks. So the Spurs pretty much don't have a lot of superstars, you can say. It's a very young team. They're rebuilding, kind of like the Hornets, but Charlotte has a superstar and some other veteran players that help out the team. That's what would have given the advantage if LaMelo Ball was playing today, but he is not. So it is it's supposed to be a close game. We can go and check out some stats from ESPN. The line on this game is even. At the start of the week, it was Charlotte by 3. It started going down as LaMelo Ball's injury report was coming to the wire. We found out yesterday that LaMelo Ball would be out. And at the moment, you can see here that it is at an even line. So this game, according to ESPN, is up for grabs. And we'll see if Charlotte can come out with this one. This would be a huge start to the season. We really want them to get out with this game. They really need it. You got to figure out a way to win without LaMelo Ball, because there's going to be other times where he will be injured. As we still wait for 8:10, we have 5 more minutes. Until then, we'll go on commercial break, and we'll give a little bit more of the pregame show until tip-off at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back to the Carolina Cast. As we're going to take a statistical look at this game right before we start it. So once again, I was just saying the line on this game up for grabs, even. But according to the ESPN matchup predictor, the Charlotte Hornets have a 58.8% chance to win today's matchup to the San Antonio Spurs 41%. As we look here at the injury report, only person out for both teams is star point guard, for the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball will not be playing today with an ankle sprain. We'll likely see him on the court Friday night against the Pelicans. We're also having some injury problems with Zion Williamson, who's, I believe, playing tonight for the Pelicans. And we can go and check the over-under for today's game is at 221. Lock it in. I think I'm going to say under, honestly, just because the Hornets don't have their leading scorer anymore, Miles Bridges, and because LaMelo Ball is not playing tonight, they're going to have to rely on guys like Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. And I don't know if that's going to be enough for Charlotte to get a lot of points in this game. As we can take a look at the regular season series, as the Hornets and the Spurs only play twice this year. They play in today's game, and then they play February 15th, which will be in Charlotte. So not a lot you can see from this series. But the Hornets can start off the season on a good note here in San Antonio. As last year, in case you're wondering, the Hornets started off 3-0 in the season, actually. Started off very hot. They beat even a Nets team that we thought were going to be good last year. Obviously, that didn't turn out the way we thought it would. And then they almost beat the Eastern Conference team in the Boston Celtics in their fourth game of the season and lost in overtime. And after that, I feel like the Hornets just lost their rhythm the entire year. They went 43-39, 10th place in the Eastern Conference, barely making a play-in spot, and once again lost, or actually got blown out by 30 in the play-in game to the Atlanta Hawks. And that's when we decided that it was time to move on from head coach at the time, James Borrego. As it's going to be kind of like boring, you could say, not to see LaMelo on the court tonight. As you can see, all these just LaMelo is the king of Charlotte right now. This Hornets team, this is his team. He's a young player, only 21 years old, maybe even the youngest franchise player in the NBA right now, because we really rely on LaMelo Ball. And honestly, if this is not Charlotte's year and they know it, did the Yankees just hit a home run? Oh yeah, I'm watching baseball too. Yankees just hit a home run. But that Bader guy's so good. Back to what I was saying. If the Hornets don't have the best season, which I don't believe they will without Miles Bridges, comment section, let me hear you. Do we tank for Victor Wembanyama, who is supposed to be the greatest prospect in NBA history, better than obviously Michael Jordan, because we didn't think he'd be that good at the time after being cut literally from his high school roster, and a better recruit than LeBron James? This is supposed to be Victor Wembanyama, 7 feet, skinny as me, can shoot, can block, can do everything, can dunk, obviously, 7 foot. Literally has all the fundamentals to basketball. And this man is going to come out of high school and is trying to become the greatest basketball player of all time. So comment section, do the Charlotte Hornets become a lottery team and try and get Victor Wembanyama? Because I believe he'll be the first pick in the draft. What is up, Nishan? I know you've been in like my Panthers chat. I know you're a huge Panthers fan. Thank you for tuning into the Hornets coverage today. As I believe it is just about time. It is 8:10 p.m. Eastern time. And yes, it is just about time. So here we go. The Charlotte Hornets are taking on the San Antonio Spurs to start off the NBA season. You see the Spurs bringing in players. I mean, I don't know any of these players on the Spurs. I'm not even trying to be rude. It's just after DeJounte Murray, it's a bunch of nobodies. All right, so you think Orlando's getting Victor? See, here's the thing. If Orlando gets Victor, oh my God, that team is going to be unstoppable. We only have Banchero. Jalen Suggs, I feel like, can still be a good player. Cole Anthony can play. Like, that Magic team, oh my. That Magic team could be good. If they're able to get Victor, I swear. I really want the Hornets to get Victor. I feel like LaMelo and Victor be a dynamic duo in Charlotte, and that could help us make the playoffs like every single year. And before everyone says that we make the playoffs every single year, that's the play-in tournament. I don't count that. If you actually get past the play-in tournament, that's when I count you're actually in the playoffs. Like, I don't. As you can see, LaMelo Ball on the sideline, it was a left ankle sprain. If you're wondering which foot, he is out for today's game. And, I mean, it's very uncertain what we'll see Friday night, if he's going to play or not. Hopefully he does. We'd all love to see him play. It's just star player for the Hornets. He's going to be sidelined tonight. But let's see if some other Hornets players can step up. Yeah, the Hornets could use Victor, I swear. Like, I mean, it sucks that we don't have Miles Bridges anymore because I know, like, his career might be over. But Victor would be awesome. As we take a starting lineup look, Terry Rozier at the 1, Kelly Oubre at the 2, Gordon at the 3, PJ Washington at the 4, and Mason Plumlee at the 5. So we're going to bench Mark Williams for today's game. That is your starting 5 for the Charlotte Hornets. As we wait to see the San Antonio Spurs. If the Hornets could get in the play, I mean, Steve Clifford has taken them to 2 playoffs in the last decade, so maybe he's able to do so with this team. As we look at the Spurs starting lineup, Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sokan, and Joka Patel. Bro, I've never heard of any of these guys. I'm not even trying to be Like, rude. I've never heard of any of these people. Anyways, it is just about time. The NBA season starts live on the Carolina Cast, and we are underway. First tip-off of the NBA season goes to Terry Rozier, and he brings it up for the Charlotte Hornets. Here is Rozier to start off the season for Charlotte. Puts it into Hayward. Hayward thought about it. He's going to take a tough shot, and he got it. Gordon Hayward, or he's starting it off good for the Charlotte Hornets as they have a 2-0 lead. I'm just going to put signs up for it because I don't want to change the score each and every time. Here's Jones, gets a screen. Trey Jones on the drive, puts up the shot, and he's got it, and we are tied at 2. Trey Jones with the floater, former Duke Blue Devil, his brother Tyus Jones. As tied at 2-2 is Rozier, gives it into Plumlee. Plumlee back out to Oubre. Oubre driving inside, he slams it down. Kelly Oubre, and a great start on offense for both teams as the Hornets have retaken the lead. 4-2 is your score. Here come the Spurs, as this is a give, and it's stolen away. Here comes Plumlee. Mason Plumlee on the drive, and he puts it in, and the Hornets have a 6-2 lead early. It's an outstanding start for Charlotte. 3 for 3 on field goals so far. Spurs only 1 for 1. They've only gotten one shot off. So the Hornets have an early 6-2 lead. Here's the jumper that will drop for the Spurs. That's Keldon Johnson, as he is most likely the best player on the Spurs team. Makes it 6-4. As we're only 90 seconds into this game, and the Hornets have a 6-4 lead on the Spurs. Rozier thought about the three inside of Plumlee. Back to Rozier. His floater, nothing but net. Terry Rozier. And the Hornets have an 8-4 lead now. So they're 4 for 4 on their shots so far. As here is the give. And a block by Plumlee. Block by Plumlee. Hornets in transition. Washington missed the layup. Would have made it 10-4. Washington not able to capitalize. Johnson takes a 3 for the Spurs. And that is an air ball. As it'll go back to Charlotte. Clock stops at 9:52. An outstanding start for your Hornets. Mason Plumlee just had that block. We just saw it right there. And the Hornets now have an 8-4 lead. It's keys of the game for Charlotte. They got to be very good in that defensive transition, I feel like. They've had some problems there last season. They got to fix on that. As Rozier on the drive, not able to get the layup. Here come the Spurs in transition. As this is the give. Jones inside. It's Potel on the drive, and he lost it. Oubre with the steal. Here comes Charlotte. Oubre, Euro step, lays it in. And the foul, Kelly Oubre, left to right, and will go to the free throw line and make it a 3-point play. As the Hornets now have a 10-4 lead. As you cannot ask for a better start. Look at Kelly Oubre, takes the ball. Got to get past Trey Jones. He does, and he lays it in for Charlotte. Outstanding play by Oubre. As he will head to the free throw line, try and make this a 7-point game for Charlotte. And missed the free throw. And a rebound by the Spurs. Here comes Trey Jones. Jones brings it up for San Antonio. And Jones will give it up to Sokan. Sokan back out to Johnson. Keldon Johnson on the drive. Tough shot. Rebound by Potel. And a foul is called on Charlotte as Johnson got a little hit there. They're going to call Mason Plumlee his first foul of the game. As San Antonio is at the free throw line. This is Keldon Johnson. Pretty much the best player on the San Antonio Spurs right now. As his first free throw is in and out. Misses the first one. And we stay at 10-4. As we are only 3 minutes into the Charlotte Hornets season. 9:06 exactly. And the Hornets find themselves up by 5 as Johnson nails the second free throw. Makes it 10-5. As here comes Terry Rozier. He brings it up for the Charlotte Hornets. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Only 3 minutes into the 2022 season. And the Hornets off to a hot start. And PJ Washington keeps it up with the floater. After making up for the missed layup. And the Hornets now lead 12-5. As here's Jones to Potel. Potel on the drive. Fakes out Plumlee. Puts up the shot. And he got it. Potel, the floater over Mason Plumlee. Brings it back 12-7 your score. Here's Plumlee. Gives it up to Oubre. Kelly Oubre looking for space. Drives inside. Tough layup off the mark. Put back Plumlee. Got his own rebound. Plumlee, tough shot. And he will go to the free throw line as he pulls the foul out right there. Mason Plumlee, not the best free throw shooter. Not even the best center, but he's pretty solid for the Charlotte Hornets as he will go to the free throw line with a 5-point Charlotte lead. Plumlee at the free throw line as the first from Mason is good. That's kind of a weird form if anybody's watching the game on Bally Sports. The Hornets now have a 13-7 lead as this is Plumlee's second free throw. Awaits. And Plumlee's going to give Charlotte a 7-point lead. 14-7 is your score. Mason Plumlee goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And Trey Jones brings it up for the Spurs. Rozier on defense, gives it up to Johnson. Hayward on defense. Johnson on the drive. And it's Plumlee with the great defense, and Washington takes it away. Here comes Charlotte. Oubre, Euro step, lays it in. And the Hornets now have a 16-7 lead with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Charlotte up 16-7. As here is the give to Jones. Trey Jones. Back out. This is a 3 for the Spurs. And that one's in and out. Rebound. Gordon Hayward brings it up for Charlotte. And this is an outstanding start for the Hornets on offense. They're getting everything done early. Plumlee gives it to Rozier. Rozier looking left to right. Gets a screen by Plumlee. Rozier on the drive. Floater, and he got it. Terry Rozier and the Hornets are hot right now with an 18-7 lead. And a timeout is taken by the Spurs. I'm going to go and update the score right here. Your Charlotte Hornets have a 18-7 lead over the Spurs. What an outstanding start for Charlotte. Wow. I can't even put that into words. We've only played we haven't even played 5 minutes of basketball, and the Hornets already have an 18-7 lead. What a start for Charlotte. We'll be back right after this. The Hornets lead the Spurs. 18-7 is your score. All right, welcome back to the Carolina Cast as the Charlotte Hornets have an early start in San Antonio to the Spurs. As we can I don't even know how to explain this. We have not played 5 minutes of basketball. Bro, there's 7:34 left in the first quarter. We have not played 5 minutes of basketball, and the Hornets already have 18 points, and they have an 18-7 lead. And as you can see right here, everyone in the starting five for the Hornets right now has points. Outstanding start for Charlotte. And I'm surprised they're doing this without LaMelo Ball. That is amazing. And that just shows how strong the Hornets can be without their star players. As we are back at San Antonio, so we'll take a look here from last season, how players have improving for this season. PJ Washington averaged 10 points. Oubre averaged 15. Cody Martin averaged 7, and Jalen McDaniels averaged 6. But Cody Martin, more of a defensive guy, same with Jalen McDaniels. And PJ Washington still trying to evolve into more of a scorer this season and trying to take up more of the Miles Bridges minutes after we do not have him anymore. As this is a steal, but Trey Jones gets it back for the Spurs. He drives inside. Jones on the shot. No, the putback is good by San Antonio's. I think I'm going to take the the actual score down, so it'll be easier for me. Charlotte still has an 18-9 lead as Rozier gives it to Oubre. Back to Rozier. Hornets passing the ball around. Here's Plumlee at the top of the key. Gives it into Rozier. That's a screen. Terry Rozier, free throw line jumper. And that's off the mark. A rebound. Here come the Spurs. This is Johnson. Keldon Johnson on the drives. Got the move and he slams it down. And the Spurs now have a 18. Now trail by 7. 18-11 is your score. As Plumlee tries the inside feed. And it is Oubre who picks it up and he scores. Kelly Oubre gives Charlotte a 20-11 lead. As Oubre, he has 8 points right now for Charlotte. A hot start for Kelly Oubre. On the drive, the Spurs back out to Potel. Puts it up and in. And the Spurs cut it to 7 once again. 20-13 is your score. As here's PJ Washington for 3. Count it! Washington from downtown. And the Hornets have a 23-13 lead as Washington buries the three-pointer. As Jones brings it up for the Spurs. Halfway through the first quarter, we hit the 6-minute mark. The Hornets have a 23-13 lead on the drive, and a foul is called. As going to the free throw line will be Devin Vassell, second-year man out of Florida State University, heading to the free throw line for the Spurs. As we can see, 2 guys for San Antonio looking to check in. Those guys are Josh Richardson and Joshua Primo. As Primo is a rookie out of Alabama, and Josh Richardson, 7th year in the NBA, the veteran out of Tennessee. So we can take a look at Greg Popovich. The good old days are gone from the Spurs. They used to be NBA Finals contenders back in 2013, 2014, the time that LeBron James was on the Miami Heat. During that time period when the Spurs were at their high. As he goes 1 for 2 on the free throws, makes it 23-14. Charlotte still has a 9-point lead. Jalen McDaniels has checked into the game for Charlotte. And it is a Rozier with the ball. Rozier gives it up to Plumlee. Plumlee looking around. Plumlee decides to drive. Plumlee in trouble, takes a tough shot off the rim. McDaniels cannot come up with the rebound. Here comes Primo for the Spurs. And he's going to give it to Johnson. Decides not to take the 3. And that's a bad decision. It's stolen by Rozier. Terry Rozier missed the layup for Charlotte. Wow, it was an easy layup. Just went a little too fast. Here come the Spurs in transition. This is a 3 by San Antonio. That's off the mark. And a rebound by Gordon Hayward. And he'll bring it up for Charlotte. Hornets lead 23-14. Hayward on the drive. Looking, takes a tough 2-point shot, and he buries it. Gordon Hayward, a 2-pointer. And the Hornets now lead 25-14, under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hornets are 10 for 17 on shooting so far. As this is a 3 for San Antonio, that's off the mark. And rebound by the Spurs. Richardson back out. This is a 3 wide open for Johnson, and he cannot hit it. And this is a rebound by Jalen McDaniels. Gives it up to Rozier. Back to McDaniels. Has to kick it out. Gordon Hayward for 3. Off the mark. And a rebound by No, that's Keldon Johnson. Beg your pardon. Johnson gives it up to Primo. San Antonio moving the ball around inside to Potel. McDaniels defending. And nice pass at the kick it back out. This is a 3 for the Spurs. Off the mark. Tipped back out. Johnson saves it, an outstanding save, and the 3 is short, and that goes off the hands of Potel, and it'll be Hornets basketball. Clock stops with 4:03 left in the first quarter, and the Hornets have a 25-14 lead on the Spurs. Charlotte, we can see Nick Richards is in the game for the Hornets, as it looks like we're going to go to another timeout. We can see Cody Martin and Dennis Smith in uniform as well. We could see some subs coming from the Charlotte Hornets. They have a 25-14 lead early in the first quarter. Hornets 25, San Antonio 14. We'll be back after this. right, welcome back to the Carolina Cast as we are going to check out the box score for today's game as the Hornets, I was just saying, their entire starting lineup has more than 3 points. Honestly, that's actually pretty good if you think about it. PJ Washington has 5, Gordon Hayward with 4, Mason Plumlee with 4, Terry Rozier with 4, but Kelly Oubre with 8. You add all those together, you get 25 early in the first quarter. And the Spurs, 14, have come 2 out of Sokan, 5 out of Keldon Johnson, 4 out of Potel, 2 out of Trey Jones, and 1 out of Vassell. As we have some others entering the game, Nick Richards, Cody Martin, Dennis Smith are all in for the Charlotte Hornets. As we will begin this once again. We're going to get right back at it. It's still early here in the first quarter. That is like, can't ask for a better start if you're the Hornets. Hold on. You're having some difficulty. Hold on. I'm going to put the scoreboard up in a minute. Until then, this is a 3 by San Antonio, and he drills it. A 3-pointer by Doug McDermott. And it is now an 8-point game. Hold on, I'm having some trouble here. Please bear with me. Okay. Sorry about that. 25-15 is a score. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know anybody on the Spurs. That's the thing. As Josh Richardson comes up with the rebound for the Spurs, I literally just don't know anyone on this team. There's a 3 by McDermott, and he is hot. 2 for 2. McDermott comes into the game and puts 6 points on the board for the Spurs. And the lead is now cut to 5 as the Hornets lead. 25-20 is your score, and Steve Clifford wants to fix that immediately by calling a timeout. We're going to stay on here. As Clifford, we cannot let that happen right now. We have all the momentum on offense. It's just our defense. We cannot get on the other side of the court and play defense for this Hornets team. Just not able to do that. As Doug McDermott comes into the game for the Spurs, it's 2 early threes. Starts showing signs of life for the Spurs. 25-20 is your score. The Hornets are going on a quick timeout, so we're going to stay on here. 25-20 is your score. I'm going to keep the scoreboard like this. I believe it is a 30-second timeout. And Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Charlotte Hornets have their first home opener of the season. They're taking on the San Antonio Spurs. As looks like Cody Martin is heading to the locker room right now. Yeah, Cody Martin just left to the locker room. That is a problem for the Hornets. I don't know why. I mean, Martin's one of the best defenders on Charlotte's squad. Let's take a look here at Jalen McDaniels. I don't know where Cody Martin's going, but that is not a good sign for Charlotte. As we have a view right here of Cody Martin just walking into the locker room. So it does not look like he's in the game right now. Hopefully everything's all right with Martin. Until then, Hornets basketball. Hayward back out. Dennis Smith on the drive. Puts up the shot, and it won't go. Rebound, Richards. Richards puts up the shot and gets fouled. Absolute easy foul. Cannot call that back. As Richards will go to the free throw line for Charlotte. Was pretty solid in the summer league, if anyone was watching that. I watched like one game against the Pacers. He looked pretty good in the summer league, so hopefully he can do that in the actual games. As Richards' first free throw is barely off the mark. Keeping it at 25-20 as PJ Washington is checking into the game for Gordon Hayward, who's going to come out. Hayward's off to a pretty good start. Same with Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, and all the other starting players for the Charlotte Hornets. Richards' second free throw, and he got that one. 1 for 2 at the line for Richards, and the Hornets now have a 26-20 lead under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. As here's Primo on the drive. Goes up, and he's got the float game. It's a 4-point game. The Hornets lead 26-22. Under 2:40 to go in San Antonio in the first quarter. As this is a drive by Smith. Gets a screen. Dennis Smith. Tough shot, and it's knocked away by the Spurs. Here comes San Antonio. And this is the game, but it's stolen away. And this is Dennis Smith, and he's got it. It wasn't the prettiest slam right there. But, yeah, I don't know what that was. Yeah, and LaMelo Ball, Cam, and LaMelo Ball. And there's the drive, Richardson, and looks like Ball's heading back to Charlotte. Something happened there. So Josh Richardson, I don't know what it was. I have my volume off just because I don't want to get copywritten. But Charlotte has the ball now. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here is Smith looking around. Gives it to McDaniels. Jalen McDaniels back out to Oubre. He's had an outstanding start for the Hornets. Oubre inside to Washington. Washington, tough shot in the corner. That is short. Rebound, Richards. He's in trouble. Richards puts up a tough shot. Put back is good. And the Hornets now lead 30-22 is your score. With 1:35 remaining in the first quarter, the Hornets up by 8. As this is the give back out to Primo. A three-pointer from San Antonio. That's off the mark. And a rebound by Kelly Oubre. Had an outstanding start for Charlotte. Here he comes. Oubre on the drive. Inside. Back out. Richards with the slam. And the foul. Outstanding play by Charlotte. Kelly Oubre the assist. And Nick Richards with the slam. It is a 10-point lead. And Richards is going back to the free throw line to try and add on one more. As Oubre was in trouble. Up, under, and in. Nick Richards with the slam. And he's trying to add on one more point to make this an 11-point lead for Charlotte. And he'll be able to do so. Swish. 33-22 is your score. As Josh Primo brings it up for the Spurs. With 70 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the Hornets have a 30-22 lead. As Primo pass back out. Inside of Primo. And it is too tall for the little guy. And it's heading back for Charlotte. As I think the Spurs forgot how small Josh Primo is. So the Hornets are going to get the ball back. As Zach Collins, he tried to put it into Primo, but too small to get it. Hornets basketball, they're on a 7-0 run in the past 90 seconds. Washington trying to add on to the run, and he does so with a long mid-range jumper. PJ Washington, just shy of a three-pointer, and the Hornets have a 35-22 lead as they're shooting 54% on their field goals so far. As here's McDermott. He's 2 for 2 on threes. That one's in and out. And out of bounds, it'll stay with San Antonio. Richards tried to fight for the rebound. That did not work out. As we take a sideline look at LaMelo Ball. All smiles from the Hornets bench so far. Even LaMelo, think about it. LaMelo does not have a single point, and the Hornets have 35 points here in the first quarter. As a foul is called, and it's going to be Hornets basketball. Kelly Oubre ended up on the ground on the inbound pass. And it is a turnover by San Antonio as the Hornets are going to get it right back. 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Washington to throw it in, gives it into Smith. Oh, my screen's buffering. Dang, I hate when that happens. I might have missed what just happened. Please bear with me. As I saw Dennis Smith running with the ball. Okay, yeah. This is a three-pointer for Charlotte, and he's got it! A three for the Hornets. Dennis Smith Jr. We did not miss anything from him. As LaMelo Ball is just laughing on the sideline. He cannot believe it. I can't either. The Hornets have a 38-22 lead. This will be the final shot of the first quarter. Primo puts it up, in and out. Oubre trying to get to half court. Puts up the tough shot, and I don't think he got it off in time. It was an air ball either way. And that is the end of quarter number 1. The Charlotte Hornets lead the San Antonio Spurs 38-22 at the... Oh, my bad. I'm just trying to type as fast as I can. Charlotte 38, San Antonio 22. An outstanding start for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball been on the bench. He's not going to play tonight. He hasn't played a single minute, and the Hornets already find themselves up by this much. Just outstanding start. Hornets are up by 16. When we come back, we'll get some stats so far of this game right before the second quarter starts. Hornets lead 38-22 is your score from AT&T Center. We'll be back right after this. right, welcome back to the AT&T Center. The Charlotte Hornets are off to an outstanding start on the San Antonio Spurs. 38-22 is your score. We're going to take a look into what happened in the first quarter as the Hornets. Oh, never mind. We're already back to the game. How about that? Okay, never mind. On the drive, and the Spurs already get points. Okay, I need to fix everything real quick. Oh, I need to get somebody backstage. I will be getting someone backstage. I know this is just not for night stream. Nobody was available for me tonight. But that's okay. Charlotte leads 38-24. Rozier a three, and he's got it. And the Hornets' offensive dominance continues as Terry Rozier buries a three-pointer. As the Hornets are 3 for 4 from downtown. Spurs are 2 for 11. And a travel is called on the Spurs. It is heading back to the Charlotte Hornets side as everything is going the Hornets way. This is just awesome. I don't even know what to say. This is awesome. Can we do this every game? Come on, guys. Dennis Smith brings it up for Charlotte. Trey Jones guarding him. Smith looking around, gives it to Oubre. Kelly Oubre's been the man of the hour so far for the Hornets. Oubre on the drive, not the man of the hour right there as he gets rejected by Podol. 7 seconds remain on the shot clock. It'll still be Hornets basketball, who lead 41-24, trying to add to that right here. As Dennis Smith will throw it in for Charlotte. Everybody looking to get open. And they'll put it into Oubre. Oubre on the drive right into Richards, and I think they called a foul. How about that? Kelly Oubre just ran into Nick Richards, and they called a Spurs foul. No way. Let me see it again. Wow. Did they actually just call a Spurs foul? Because Kelly Oubre ran right into Nick Richards. And from what it looks like, it was a Spurs foul. So, yep, Kelly Oubre shooting free throws. How awesome is that? 3 points for the Hornets after bumping into each other, Nick Richards and Kelly Oubre. They now get to add points onto the board. And let's just talk about everything going your way. As injury update, we saw Cody Martin leave with a left quad soreness. He will not return for the rest of the game. So that puts Cody Martin on the injury list with LaMelo Ball. So that is just a rough start for anyone to start the season. So we hope that Cody will be back on Friday, just like hopefully we'll have LaMelo back Friday as well. Oubre goes 2 for 2 on the free throws, and the Hornets lead 43-24. Outstanding play inside in the layup. 43-26 is your score. Charlotte running away with it in transition. Dennis Smith gets inside the paint, kicks it back out. JT Thor for 3. That's off the mark, and a rebound by Potel. So he's trying to pass it to one man, one off of his back. It was taken by another. This is a tough shot for the Spurs that goes off the rim, and here comes Terry Rozier. One-on-one. Rozier makes a move. Outstanding. Rozier can get it, but Richards with the putback slam. And the Hornets are on fire. Rozier not able to finish on the layup, but Nick Richards with the slam as the Hornets have 7 second chance points. Actually make it 9 now, as Jones' floater will not count. And looks like a foul is called on Charlotte. So we'll go back to that last play by Terry Rozier, just behind the back. Missed the layup, and then Nick Richards came in and put it down for the Hornets. Cannot ask for a better start. 45-26 is your score. Nick Richards with 6 points. 2 dunks in this game. And there's a block by JT Thor. And here comes Charlotte. James Bouknight gives it up to Rozier. Rozier looking around, going to get a screen by Richards. Rozier inside. A no-look pass to Richards, and he puts it in for Charlotte. And the Hornets are absolutely owning the Spurs. 47-26 is your score. As Trey Jones brings it up. Here's a screen by Podol. Jones on the drive, and he lays it in, but it won't go. And the Spurs get the rebound, and a foul was called on Kelly Oubre. It looked like he might have pushed Vassell out of bounds. Yeah, that putback was insane by Nick Richards. That was just an outstanding play. As you guys can see, James Bouknight is on the court for the Hornets. We know he was arrested last Sunday after was found unconscious in his car on the Charlotte highway. He is playing in tonight's game. So we'll look to see better days for James Bouknight. as he tries to make up for it in here in a nice game as he's guarding one man right now, forcing him to pass it to out. This is a tough shot over Jalen McDaniels, and it goes for the Spurs. As that is none other than Doug McDermott. He made 2 threes early when he came into the game. He's got 8 points right now for the Spurs. As here's Rozier. Terry Rozier on the drive. Back out, and it is taken away. Here comes San Antonio in transition. Jones, he lost the ball, and a foul was called on James Bouknight. I mean, that looked clean to me. I guess not, as Trey Jones is going to the free throw line. And it's just unfortunate. Vassell to throw it in, and he gives it to Potel. Potel looks to throw it back to Vassell. And this is Potel again, drives inside. JT Thor not able to get to him, and Potel slams it down. The Hornets still have a 17-point lead, but the Spurs looking to make a gigantic comeback as they trail by 17. Here is Terry Rozier, gives it up to JT Thor. Thor to McDaniels, back to Rozier. Hornets moving the ball around. McDaniels on the drive, over Jones, no foul called. Richards, tough shot, and it goes. Nick Richards, the 2-point jumper. And the Hornets now lead 49-30 is your score. There's a step-in 3 by San Antonio off the mark, and a rebound by Terry Rozier. Here comes Charlotte. JT Thor thought about a 3, gives it up. James Bouknight for 3, in and out, and a rebound by Potel. And here come the Spurs once again. And 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. There is a 3. McDermott. He's been hot early, but there's the rebound by not Rick Richards. I beg your pardon. That is Jalen McDaniels. It's got 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Rozier being guarded by Trey Jones. And he sets it up for Charlotte. Rozier on the drive. Tough layup between 2 players. That is an air ball. And here comes the Spurs in transition. Jones, no look pass in the corner for 3. And it'll go off the rim and get stuck on top. So it'll be Charlotte basketball. The ball gets stuck on top of the rim. And with 7:42, you can just see that's literally how bad the Spurs fans have to feel right now. I have to see the ball go stuck in the hoop. So I believe that's David Robinson. Yes, that is David Robinson. 2009 Basketball Hall of Fame inductee. Played for the Spurs from 1986 all the way to 2003. Was an outstanding member of this San Antonio Spurs team. I was about to say, that guy kind of looked like David Robinson. Then I realized we were playing the Spurs. Of course it is. Charlotte basketball, McDaniels to throw it in. And he gives it to Rozier. Terry Rozier on the drive. Trey Jones playing full court press. Back to McDaniels. And they're going to give it to Rozier. He'll set it up. 13 on the shot clock. Screen by Hayward. Now they go inside. Hayward with the slam. And the Hornets 51-30 lead as the clock is still running. Charlotte just owning the Spurs on offense right now. So here's Jones. Back out. Looking around. Back inside and rejection, but it falls. It was rejected until it fell. Now Sokan, the rookie shot fell for him. It looked like Richards, he blocked that, but shot still able to fall. As we go back to Rozier's nice, clean pass to Gordon Hayward. He was able to slam it for the Hornets. And here we go. 7-12. Hornets up 51-32 is your score. Nick Richards is going to come sit down after the foul. He's played amazing. As missed free throw, rebound by the Spurs. And they'll give it back out. Potel to Vassell. Rozier defending. And this is Johnson, a tough 3. Had to put it up. He drilled it, but it's going to look like it's going to be waved off, and it's going to be Charlotte basketball. So the 3 by Keldon Johnson does not count, and it's Hornets ball. As Terry Rozier brings it up. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first half, the Hornets have a 51-32 lead. As we will have a Carolina Cast halftime show, so please stay tuned for that. Here's Gordon Hayward moving left to right. Terry Rozier, corner 3, off the mark, and a rebound by Keldon Johnson. And here's Johnson. Takes a tough shot, and he got it. 51-34 is your score. Keldon Johnson with the jumper. And it's 6:30 to go in the first half, and a foul is called on Sokan. He fouled Gordon Hayward, and that will take us to another timeout as the Hornets are owning the Spurs right now. 51-34 is your score. Check this out right here. Can't get any better for Charlotte. Hornets off to an outstanding start. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back on the Carolina Cast as we are looking at protecting the paint. So we can see the Charlotte Hornets have done an outstanding job on their blocks. JT Thor again, as we keep looking at the JT Thor. That was just an outstanding play. He was coming from behind, had to make a play on the ball, and he did. As Mason Plumlee is checking back into the game for Charlotte, as JT Thor gets to sit down after he didn't play bad, played pretty well on defense, we could say. Offense wasn't so much for JT Thor, but defense is working out, especially that block. As Hornets have 3 blocks, the Spurs 2. Just a second under 6:30 to go at 6:29. Hornets have a 51-34 lead. As here is Rozier. And he drives inside, and the shot will not go. And looks like an offensive foul was called on Gordon Hayward. And it's going to be Spurs basketball. As Hayward is arguing with the ref. It is Spurs basketball. So here comes San Antonio on the drive. Back out to Potel. And he's going to give it up to Johnson. Johnson, an outstanding move to Potel, and he lays it in for San Antonio. And the Spurs now trail 51-36 is your score. We are at the halfway mark of the second quarter. As here is McDaniels, gives it up to Bouknight. To Gordon Hayward. Hornets moving the ball around. Hayward asks for a screen. He's going to get it. Hayward, tough shot. A foul was called and won. Gordon Hayward, the 2-point jumper, and he will head to the free throw line. As an outstanding shot by Hayward, and he gets the foul on the play. As Gordon Hayward will make to look at a 54-36 game. As I'm going to go and take the score off. That is not the actual score. As Hayward, I believe he made the free throw. So 54-36 is your score. Here's Potel on the drive, kicks it back out to Primo. And it's taken away. Plumlee gives it up to Rozier. He puts up a 3, and he's got it. Terry Rozier. Can't touch that, can you? Rozier from downtown, and the Hornets have a 21-point lead on the Spurs. 57-36 is your score. Here's Potel. Shot is short. Rebound by Plumlee. He'll give it up to Rozier, who just made a 3, looking for maybe another. Rozier decides to drive back out to McDaniels. McDaniels on the tough drive, and he gets the shot to go. Jalen McDaniels and the Hornets are rolling with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Charlotte has a 59-36 lead. As it's kicked back out, on the drive is Vassell. Good defense, but a foul was called on Gordon Hayward, despite the good effort on defense. So we are under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Gordon Hayward, once again, not happy with the call. As this will take Devin Vassell, second-year guy out of Florida State University, to the free throw line for the Spurs. As he looks to cut this lead down that the San Antonio Spurs have put themselves through. His first free throw was good. As Clifford talking to the refs, as Jalen McDaniels will sub out, PJ Washington checking in for Charlotte. As Dennis Smith is also into the game, as Terry Rozier will come out after his outstanding performance we just saw in that last couple of moments. 2 for 2 at the free throw line for Vassell, and the Hornets now have a 59-38 lead. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Inbound to Dennis Smith. He'll bring it up. Spurs with some full court press. Smith in trouble, gives it to Bouknight. James Bouknight up top, and Plumlee with the slam. What a pass by James Bouknight. He throws it over the rim from about 30 feet away, and that's Plumlee with the slam. Here come the Spurs the other way, and it's stolen. This is Dennis Smith with the steal. Gives it to Hayward. Gordon Hayward on the drive. Tough shot. Won't go, but a foul is called. And Gordon Hayward will go to the free throw line as the Hornets have a 61-38 lead. As we are edging halftime. We'll go back to that Bouknight pass. That was outstanding lob to Mason Plumlee. Just doesn't get better than that. Great pass by Bouknight. And Plumlee, all he had to do is put it down. He was able to do so. As Hayward nails the first free throw. As I was talking about earlier, we know there's so many problems with James Bouknight off the court on Sunday after he was arrested. But I feel like he's back. He's back. That alley-oop was amazing from Bouknight to Plumlee. Outstanding. That's what I was just talking about. As Hayward goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Hornets leading 63-38 is your score with 4 minutes to go in the first half. This is Potel on the shot. Won't go. Putback, no. Another putback, no. Somebody going to get the rebound. It's going to be James Bouknight who ends up with it. One-on-one, Bouknight. And can't get it to go. And the Spurs come up with it. Here's Primo on the drive. Backing down on Washington. Takes it back out. Dennis Smith on defensive end. And Richardson, a three, in and out. Rebound by Plumlee. And he'll bring it up for Charlotte. Mason Plumlee gives it to Washington. He's able to handle it. PJ for three. Off the mark. And another rebound for the Spurs. That's Keldon Johnson with it. Johnson driving around. Goes up inside to Potel, and he lays it in. An outstanding play by the Spurs. It makes it 63-40 with under 3:20 left in the first half. Here is Dennis Smith bringing it up for Charlotte. Smith looks around, gives it to Plumlee. Back out to Hayward. Gordon Hayward, 2-point jumper. Off the mark and a rebound. My Socum gives it up to, I believe that is Keldon Johnson. It is. Johnson to Primo. Back to Johnson. Plumlee defending, and Johnson just has the edge. He's able to get it to go. 63-42 is your score. As Dennis Smith brings it up again, Terry Rozier looks like he might come in right before we get to halftime. Smith back out to Bouknight. Takes a deep three and just off the mark. James Bouknight not able to score, but he had that one assist. There's Johnson looking around. They give it to Johnson on the drive, and it is taken away by Mason Plumlee. Here comes Charlotte. Johnson's able to get the steal on Plumlee. As here's Richardson. Spurs with numbers. Richardson not able to find the open man, and the Spurs are going to force the foul off of Dennis Smith. So when we come back, San Antonio will be heading to the free throw line. Not until the Charlotte Hornets have the advantage of a 63-40 to 42 lead on the San Antonio Spurs. As we only have 2 minutes left in the first half, the Hornets lead 63 to 42 is your score. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned right here on the Carolina Cast. And welcome back to the Carolina Cast, as your Charlotte Hornets have a huge advantage over the San Antonio Spurs. 63 to 42 is your score. Let's go and check out the box score real quick before we get back to this game. As we can see, Charlotte Hornets leading scorers are a three-way tie with Nick Richards, Kelly Oubre, and Terry Rozier, all with 10 points. But Gordon Hayward is actually the leader with 11 points. PJ Washington with 9, Dennis Smith with 5, Jalen McDaniels with 2, Mason Plumlee with 6. And we've seen a couple guys go 0 for 3 like James Bouknight, but he had a huge assist earlier in this game. So we are back to this game. We're taking a look at San Antonio. It's the only beautiful thing you can really see right now is Manu Ginobili. Is that Manu Ginobili? Yeah, it is Manu Ginobili. 2022 Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, was the Spurs guard from 2002 to 2018. As Ginobili's in the house, watching this not even washed, they're just bad Spurs team get blown out by the Charlotte Hornets. As at the free throw line, first one is in. That is Josh Primo on the free throw. Josh Primo, this is his rookie season out of Alabama University, the shooting guard, 6'4", as Primo goes 2 for 2 from the line. As Washington throws it into Rozier, Hornets lead 63 to 44. As here's Rozier, gives it up to McDaniels, into Washington. Washington inside to Richards, and that one's taken away, but Washington gets the rebound. Tough shot. Layup, no. Richards, no. Another rebound. Richards fighting for the basket, and he's going to get it. Hard work pays off, and Nick Richards now gives Charlotte a 65 to 44 lead. And we have 100 seconds left in the first half. As here's McDermott on the drive. It's short. His putback is good. And the Hornets now lead 65 to 46. As we have 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Dennis Smith looking around. Back out. This McDaniels thought about the three. Rozier thought about the three. Now the Hornets looking for some room. McDaniels driving inside, and he is rejected at the rim. And here come the Spurs. This is Keldon Johnson. All the way. Gives it up to Richardson. Josh Richardson. Inside to Potel. Back out once again. Johnson into Potel. He's rejected by Nick Richards at the rim, but a foul is called, preventing the highlight play by Richards. So we can see the last play by Richards where he had to go up for the rebound twice, but he's able to get it to go on his second time. As the Hornets now lead 65 to 46. 61 seconds remaining in the first half. This is McDermott at the free throw line for San Antonio. First one is good, making it 65 to 47. The Hornets holding on to this 18-point lead, which could be 17, depending the McDermott free throw. And in and out, so it'll stay as an 18-point lead for Charlotte. We hit the final seconds of the first half. Hornets have a 65-47 lead. Here is Rozier. Gets a screen by Richards. Terry Rozier, a deep three, and he's got it. I don't even know what to say anymore. I am speechless. Terry Rozier from downtown, and the Hornets have a 68-47 lead on the Spurs. So here's Primo. Driving inside. Primo in trouble, got nowhere to go, gives it up. Tough shot by McDermott, won't go, and a rebound by McDaniels gives it up to Rozier. Under 30 seconds remaining in the first half, as there is a 7-second difference with the shot clock and the game clock. As the Hornets might not get the final shot, we'll see. Rozier puts up another three, and that is an air ball, and no foul call despite Rozier falling. He really wants to call. It won't matter. 11 seconds on the clock, and the Spurs will get the ball back. Looks like Richardson got a little bit of Rozier right there. They did not call anything. They call it clean defense. Here we go. Johnson, 5 seconds. Back out. McDermott, a three, and it's in and out. Put back, no. And that is the end of the first half. The Charlotte Hornets come out in the first half and just score. They literally just score. That's all the Hornets did in the first half. And they played pretty good defense. Look at the scoreboard right now. The Charlotte Hornets, 68, and the San Antonio Spurs, 47. It's an absolute blowout here at AT&T Center to start off the 2022 NBA season. And the Hornets cannot get off to any better of a start. So now they lead by 21 going to the break. We'll be back right after this. And when we come back, will we have a Carolina Cast halftime show? Yes, we will. Come check it out. We will be doing the box score and seeing what the Charlotte Hornets can improve on and what they did so far in the first half of this game. Hornets lead 68-47 is your score. When we come back, we'll get straight into the Carolina Cast halftime show. All right, welcome to the Carolina Cast halftime show as our Hornets have a 68-47 lead on the San Antonio Spurs. Let's get straight into the box score right here. As the Hornets have a 21-point advantage, let's see who's got the points. Terry Rozier leading the way for the Hornets with 13 points. He's got 4 rebounds to go with it, 5 assists, 3 for 5 from downtown. Kelly Oubre's got 10 points for Charlotte. Got 2 rebounds to go with it. 4 for 7 shooting. 2 for 3 at the free throw line as well. Mason Plumlee, 6 points. Gordon Hayward, 11. PJ Washington with 9. He's got 2 assists and 3 rebounds to show with it. And Nick Richards, a little surprising. Nick Richards, 12 points for the Hornets, 5 for 9 shooting, 2 for 3 at the free throw line. He's got 6 rebounds for the Hornets. That's what the big man's supposed to do. He's able to do it. As I'm watching the Yankees game too, Giancarlo Stanton just made an outstanding catch. Back to what I was saying, we can see James Bouknight hasn't played the best for the Hornets. He does have that one outstanding assist to other than Nick Richards on that dunk. Or was that? No, that was Mason Plumlee. That was Mason Plumlee on the dunk. So we can take a look around the league as Detroit Pistons are leading the Orlando Magic 101-99 with 4:30 to go in the fourth quarter. The Wizards have a 99-81 lead on the Pacers with 8:30 left in the fourth. The Hawks have a 77-71 lead with under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Pelicans have a 87-62 lead on the Nets with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Bulls have a 80-68 lead with under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Cavaliers have a 72-67 lead with 5 minutes left in the third. The Grizzlies have a 80-67 lead with 4:30 in the third. And at halftime, just with this Hornets game, the Timberwolves lead the Thunder 65-52. And in our Hornets game, Charlotte has a 68-47 lead. As the Hornets scored 38 points in the first quarter, scored 30 in the second quarter. Spurs scored 22 in the first quarter and 25 in the second. Nowhere close to the dominance that the Charlotte Hornets have showed on offense. And pretty much on defense, too. I mean, 47 points to give up at halftime is actually pretty solid. And then our offense, obviously, 68 points, which is crazy for halftime. Because you can tell how the Charlotte Hornets can play without LaMelo Ball, and that is huge. Because we don't know how long LaMelo Ball is going to be out for. So, let's say, for example, LaMelo Ball is out for like 2 or 3 weeks. I know he's probably not out for 2 or 3 weeks, but let's just say he was. We can believe in a Charlotte team like this. And that's what we needed to show tonight. And if LaMelo does not play Friday night against the Pelicans, we're able to do this again. I mean, we can play without LaMelo. I'm not saying we're getting rid of LaMelo. I'm just saying that the team still has life if our star player is not playing. This is what everyone had to do. Everyone has done their job tonight. They've had to play a role. They've had to help out in some sort of way. And every single player on this team who has played in a minute in this game has been able to do something to help Charlotte have this 68-47 lead. And that's just what we needed with LaMelo Ball out. As there are only 4 players on the Charlotte Hornets roster that have not entered the game, which are Kai Jones, Mark Williams, Bryce McGowens, and Theo Maledon. So those 4 guys, I mean, they'll probably come in eventually now that we have a 21-point lead. I'd love to see Mark Williams come into the game at center. I know I'm a big Duke fan, so I want to see my Duke guys play. And now he's on the Hornets. So that's awesome. And then Bryce McGowens, he played very well in the NBA Summer League. Once again, I know a lot of people don't watch that. I only watched like one game, but he played very well in the one game I watched for McGowens. Theo Maledon also has some high hopes along with Kai Jones. So maybe we could see some action from them as JT Thor got some playing time today. Did not score. Played 4 minutes. Was not able to do much, but he got that one massive block, which is one of the Hornets' best highlights from this game so far. As let's go ahead and check out the box score for the San Antonio Spurs. As Keldon Johnson with 9 points, Potel's got 10, and McDermott's got 12 points off the bench for the Spurs. So, I mean, San Antonio, they've been pretty, decent on their scoring this game. But the Charlotte Hornets have just completely owned them in every way possible. If the Hornets are able to take this into the second half, they can pull out with a 1-0 win if they're able to do so. So 68-47 is your score. The Hornets have a 21-point lead on the San Antonio Spurs. When we come back on the Carolina Cast halftime show, we'll look into each player's perspective of how they played tonight. Until then, we'll go right back on commercial break. We'll be back after this. And we are back on the Carolina Cast. We are still at halftime in this game. And if you are wondering, I'm going to keep the scoreboard up just for this quick second right here. The Hornets have a 68-47 lead at halftime. As we are going to look at some of each player's stats on the Charlotte Hornets, but also like what they have done this game. We're going to start off with PJ Washington, who's played 14 minutes for the Charlotte Hornets and has honestly been pretty solid for our squad today, as he's got 9 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 for 2 from the three-point line, 4 for 7 shooting, and 1 block to go with it. So PJ's had a pretty nice performance. I feel like he's got to step in this entire season after we do not have Miles Bridges anymore. I know he's going to have to be the guy that's going to have to play Bridges' minutes and the points that Bridges used to put up for us, as he was the Hornets' leading scorer in points per game. Gordon Hayward has played 15 minutes, also 4 for 7 shooting, 0 for 1 from downtown, but that's okay because he went 3 for 3 from the free throw line, has had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal, and he's got 11 points in total. Gordon Hayward has played just how we expected him to. This is his first game since February 7th. He's been injured ever since with that ankle sprain. He is finally back. This is his first game, and it's an outstanding start to his season. Hopefully he's able to play out the entire year without any major injuries. Mason Plumlee has played 13 minutes. He's 2 for 4, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He's got 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a block. He's got 6 points to go with it. So Mason Plumlee's done very well for the center job today. He's got that nice dunk from that lob by James Bouknight. We'll get into that in just a moment. Terry Rozier has been leading the way for the Hornets. He is their leading scorer right now, 13 points. He's played 17 minutes, 5 for 12 shooting, 3 for 5 from downtown, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and he's just played outstanding. 13 points for Terry Rozier. He's just this is the star we needed right now. Obviously, we don't have LaMelo Ball playing tonight, so we needed another star to step up, and Terry Rozier was able to do just that. Kelly Oubre went 4 for 7 shooting for 13 minutes, had 2 rebounds, an assist, 3 steals, and had 10 points. He started off very hot for the Hornets. It's been kind of quiet since. But I'm going to go and check out the comments section here. Let's see who's in here. What's up, Boston? How you doing tonight? As the Hornets are doing pretty well. Got that 21-point advantage on the 49ers. Not the 49ers. What am I saying? The Spurs. I still remember that 49ers game when we had Tom Grossi rate us. That was awesome. But we're in basketball mode right now. Hornets have a 21-point lead on the Spurs. I mean, yeah, just I don't even know what to say. 68 points in the first half by the Hornets combined, scored none other than 38 in the first quarter, and they were able to respond with 30 in the second, getting them to 68. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away by the Hornets right now. And the Spurs scored 22 in the first and 25 in the second. So Spurs only have 47 points, and that's honestly very good for defense-wise. And then we can look at this some of the San Antonio stats as McDermott's leading the way for the Spurs. He went 5 for 9 shooting, 2 for 5 from downtown. He started off the game. He came in off the bench, hit 2 quick threes. He's got a rebound, and he's got 12 points for the Spurs in total, as he's their leading scorer for today's game. But either way, just nothing to show for the San Antonio Spurs, as their glory days are long gone after Kawhi left and DeRozan left and Ginobili was out of his prime. And then Steven having the same, then Tim Duncan as well. So Spurs, they're not the same anymore. I mean, I know Greg Popovich is one of the greatest basketball coaches. You could really make a case for all time. I don't think he's the best of all time, but I feel like he's in the top 10 somewhere. Greg Popovich is an outstanding coach, but I feel like he's on the hot seat right now. And it's not really not because it won't affect his status of all time, but it's just because this team is horrid. This team is terrible. The best player on the Spurs is Keldon Johnson. Who? So it's just because the players and what they've done. I mean, they're trying to believe in the young guys, but it's not working out tonight. As we are just about set for the third quarter. Welcome back to the second half here on the Carolina Cast. The Hornets trying to keep the dominance going here in the second half, trying to close out the Spurs and start off the season 1-0 before they head back home Friday night against the New Orleans Pelicans. We hope to have that game right here on the Carolina Cast. And to have that here, go ahead and subscribe or follow us on Twitch, where you can get all the live streams of the Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets on Twitch and on YouTube for all the live streams, updates, everything about the Charlotte Hornets and the Carolina Panthers. We are underway for the second half as Trey Jones brings it up, and that's the way to start it off. Jones on the drive, and he's going to give it to Johnson. Keldon Johnson back out. This is Varel inside to Potel. Potel back out. Varel, a long three on the top of the key. Won't get it to go. Let me just do this real quick. Bear with me. Okay, we got that. Mason Plumlee inside feed to Rozier. And it's taken away. Here comes Vassell. The second-year guy out of Florida State. And can't get the layup to go. Is fouled by Kelly Oubre. And we'll head to the free throw line early. As the Hornets with a little bit more of a fast-paced approach, which you wouldn't expect with a 21-point lead that the Hornets have right now. I'm surprised they're going this way. Vassell at the free throw line. He's trying to make this a 20-point game, and his first free throw is off. So Charlotte's next game, Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. They are hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. You can stay tuned for that right here on the Carolina Cast as Vassell nails the second free throw, goes 1 for 2. And the Hornets still lead by 20, 68-48 is your score, as we are just coming back from the halftime break. As Rozier puts it into Plumlee. Plumlee on the drive. Nice behind-the-back move. It's Plumlee inside to Oubre. Oubre in trouble, and another foul called. So 2 early fouls by both teams. And this is going to send Kelly Oubre to the free throw line, I believe. As it looks like it was it's at the paint. No, actually, no, they're just going to throw it in because he did not shoot. Into Plumlee. Back out to Washington. PJ looking around, gives it an open Rozier. Pump fakes the 3. Step back jumper, and Terry Rozier still got it. He still got it. Nails the 2-point jumper. And the Hornets now have a 70-48 lead. So just pouring it on here at AT&T Center. Here's Potel looking for somebody. He's able to find Sokan on the drive, and he's rejected by PJ Washington. Here come the Hornets in transition. Oubre back out. Gordon Hayward for three, and not able to go. Tre Jones with the rebound. Still an outstanding block by Washington. Jones, he lays it in, and he gets the foul. Tre Jones will go to the free throw line, as he's been moved to the starting lineup for the Spurs after his nice campaign at Duke University, the brother of Tyus Jones. As I know, Zach, Hornets fan, Team LeBron. Bro, imagine the Hornets get LeBron. What if we draft Bronny James? Instead of Victor Wembanyama, what if we drafted Bronny James? Would LeBron come to Charlotte? 70-50 is your score, as Tre Jones nails the and one free throw. Makes it 70-51, a 19-point lead for the Hornets, as Rozier brings it up. He's looking for somebody, just trying to take it slow right now. Rozier going to get a screen. Driving inside, Rozier left to right. Tough shot off the glass and in. Terry Rozier just keeps it up. Keeps it going for the Hornets. Here's Jones on the drive. He lost it, and they're going to say it was taken out of bounds. Yeah, I know LeBron wants to play with Bronny, so technically, if the Hornets drafted Bronny, would LeBron likely come to Charlotte? That'd be something very interesting for us. And just because Michael Jordan's the owner, it could happen. Here's McDaniels. Gives it to Plumlee. Plumlee on the drive. And he's got it to go. Mason Plumlee lays it in at the rim. And the Hornets now lead 74-51. As here's Vassell. Driving Vassell. Layup is off the mark. Put back, no. And this is PJ Washington who comes up with it for the Hornets. Washington. Ball gets tipped into the air. And Tre Jones is found on the ground. He gets back up early. That's Vassell who knocked it away. Clock stops with 9:39 left in the third quarter. And it'll be Spurs basketball. It's an offensive foul on Charlotte. Here comes Tre Jones. Gordon Hayward, 3 fouls. He's got 11 points to go with it, as Jones gives it to Potel on the drive. This is back out to Vassell. To Jones at the top of the key for 3. And Tre Jones nails the three-pointer. And 74-54 is your score, as the inbound pass is taken away. This is Keldon Johnson on the drive. Going on Rozier, lost the ball. Big collision at the end, and they're calling it a foul. I didn't think that was a foul, but okay. As McDaniels, that looked clean. Let's see this again. Rozier. Oh, it looked like Johnson just flopped up in the air. That was a clean takeaway by Terry Rozier. Instead, the Spurs maintain possession. Inbound into Potel. Back out to Vassell. Drives inside. Gets space. Takes up the 2-point jumper, and he's got it. And this game is cut down to an 18-point lead for the Hornets. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Charlotte leads 74-56 is your score at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. A 3 air ball. Tre Jones on the defender on the play, as Rozier comes up with the air ball on the 3. Keldon Johnson thought about the 3, decides to drive in, and he gets the layup. PJ Washington, not the best defense right there, as, yes, thinking Steve Clifford might have wanted to call timeout, but he did not, actually. The Spurs are on a 7-0 run in the past minute, so doing anything they can to try and get back into this game. Hayward on the drive, and foul is called. And Gordon Hayward will go to the free throw line. As he tried to drive inside, he got hit. And Gordon Hayward's headed the line for Charlotte. Clock stops with 8:25 left in the third quarter, as the Hornets have a 16-point lead. Gordon Hayward looking to add on to that at the free throw line. Hayward's got the first one to go. And if you are wondering right now how you can stay with us here on the Carolina Cast, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube for all updates on the Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets. You can also get all these live streams found on YouTube. Same with Twitch. You can follow us on Twitch for each and every Carolina Panthers and Charlotte Hornets live stream. As Gordon Hayward goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 76-58 is your score. Here's Patel, the floater, that's off the mark, and a rebound by Rozier gives it to Washington. PJ Washington looks around, and Mason Plumlee ends up on the floor, and that is going to be a foul. Okay. So, I don't know who pushed Plumlee right there, but, like, come on. As we were taking a look at the Spurs sideline, Greg Popovich trying to talk to this young caliber team. It's not going well for them here in their season opener, but for the Hornets, complete opposite. Outstanding start without LaMelo Ball. McDaniels gives it in to Rozier. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hayward has it for Charlotte. Hayward on the drive, ends up on the ground, and another foul is called on the Spurs as Keldon Johnson not pleased with the foul as Gordon Hayward ends up on the ground. That could be another injury-prone type play, so hopefully Hayward's all right. That'd be super annoying if he got injured again. But he looks fine. Charlotte basketball into Rozier. Terry Rozier driving up. Plumlee tries to dunk and cannot get it. And a rebound by Potel. And here come the Spurs in transition. Outstanding pass to Sokan. And play is called dead. After, looked like the ref. It was a nice pass by Trey Jones. And it gets blown up immediately. Here's Johnson. Open for the three. And he got it from downtown. Keldon Johnson. He's trying to put the Spurs back in a position to make the comeback as they're on a 10-2 run here in the past 2 minutes. The Hornets still have a 76-61 lead, though. Here's Rozier on the drive. Tough layup. No good. Plumlee put back. No good. And a rebound by Vassell and the Spurs. Vassell on the drive. Back out. Johnson, another three. And he's got it again. And I think Clifford might want to call timeout. 76-64. And Charlotte does use their timeout as the Spurs are trying to make a comeback right now. 76-64. This game is a little too close for comfort right now for like how far it was before. 76-64 is your score. When we come back, the Hornets looking to run away with this game. Although the Spurs are trying to make a comeback, let's see if Charlotte can avoid the upset. We are back on the Carolina Cast as we still await on the commercial break. Let's go ahead and check out some of the box score stats really quickly, as nothing much has really changed other than Terry Rozier, who has 17 points now. He's now played 22 minutes. But something big has changed. The scoreboard. It was 68-47 at halftime. Think of that. And now it is 76-64. So the Spurs are finding their way back into this game, and the Hornets are going to need to stop that. That's why Steve Clifford called timeout. Let's see if Charlotte. We cannot. Come on, guys. We cannot lose this game right now. We cannot afford to lose this game, especially for the start we had. Like, no. as it is an inbound and it goes off of Vassell. So we'll have to do it again. It's the Spurs are on a 13-2 run for the past 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to be exact. So here's the inbound by Hayward. He finds Rozier. Terry Rozier makes a move on Trey Jones, makes another move on Trey Jones. Gives it to McDaniels. Jalen McDaniels on the drive. Back to Plumlee. Mason Plumlee backing down on Potel. Backing down once again. Plumlee looking for space, and he gets the floater to go. Mason Plumlee. And the Hornets now have a 78-64 lead. Under 7 minutes to go. Here's Johnson. He had 2 threes to get the Spurs back into this game. Here's a pass to Potel, and he lays it in for San Antonio. As the Spurs are just answering to the Hornets' points. 78-66 is your score. Here's Hayward looking for room. Hayward inside the paint. Thought about the tough shot. Instead gives it out. PJ for 3, and he's got it. Washington a 3-pointer. And the Hornets now lead 81-66. 6:15 to go in the third quarter. As the Hornets and PJ Washington with 9 points in this game. Charlotte still putting up the points. Here's the step back jumper, and it will go for Vassell over Gordon Hayward. 81-68 is your score as we hit the halfway mark of the third quarter. Rozier inside, and a foul was called on Vassell. Just nailed that 2-pointer for the Spurs. 81-68, your score. As you can see, McDermott come back in for the Spurs. He hit 2 quick threes the last time he came in for San Antonio. So that would be huge for the Spurs right now, but the Hornets got to make sure that doesn't happen. This is Gordon Hayward at the free throw line for Charlotte. You can see JT Thor has checked into the game. As Hayward on the first free throw, he nails it. Makes it 82-68. As the Spurs are now at where the Hornets were at halftime. So they're slowly getting back into this game. Second free throw by Hayward, and he goes 2 for 2. Hornets now leading 83-68, under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's Johnson. Thor on defense. Back to Johnson. Gets some space, takes the 2-point jumper off the mark, and a putback by Potel, and it is now a 13-point lead for the Hornets as the Spurs are very slowly getting back in this game. Oh, Terry makes a min! Go to the ground! Primo ends up on the ground, and Rozier ends up at the rim with the layup, and the Hornets go back up by 15. Here's Primo. Floater, and he's got it. Turns it back into a 13-point game. 85-72 is your score with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Hornets moving the ball around. Here's Hayward on the drive. Makes a move. Gordon Hayward moving left to right. McDaniels not able to hold on to it, and the ball goes out of bounds, and the Spurs are going to take over. As we look at this play by Terry Rozier again, made Primo fall to the ground and then laid it in. It's an outstanding play. Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, the Hornets lead 85-72 is your score. As here's Josh Primo bringing it up. Joshua Primo. Johnson a 3. He's been hot from downtown, and he's going to keep it that way. It is a 10-point game, and the Hornets barely have a double-digit lead as the Spurs are finding every single way to get back into this game. And the Hornets are not responding. They need to respond right here. Hayward lost the ball, and it's taken away by San Antonio. Here comes Johnson on the drive, back out to McDermott. McDermott layup is short, and rebound by Richards, who falls to the ground. And is a foul called? That's what it looks like. Yeah. It looks like a foul was called. As McDermott was short on the layup, then Richards came up with it. The ball never hit out of bounds. They tried to say travel, but it's a foul on McDermott. We'll put Nick Richards at the free throw line for Charlotte. As Richards, he's actually had a pretty good game for himself. At the moment, he's got 13 points. Looking to do something at the free throw line. Actually, no, 12 points. Make it 13 right there with the free throw. As I mean, if you have to go with predictions, he's most likely to miss the second free throw. I'm not even trying to be like rude. It's just that he's most likely to miss it. As Richards on the second free throw, and he does miss it. And the Spurs come up with the rebound, trailing by 11. As if they get another shot in here, it'll be a single-digit lead for the first time since early in the first quarter. It's a 3 by Primo off the mark and a rebound by JT Thor. And Gordon Hayward brings it up for Charlotte. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's a screen by Richards. Hayward on the drive. Gordon Hayward back out to Jalen McDaniels. Steps inside. Dennis Smith, a corner three, and he's got it from downtown. And the Hornets extend their lead. A timeout is taken by San Antonio. 89-75 is your score. Look like the Spurs, they found their way to get back into the game, but the Hornets just hit a major three with Dennis Smith nailing one in the corner. 89-75 is your score. When we come back, the Hornets trying to close out this third quarter and this game to the Spurs. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Carolina Cast as the Hornets have a 89-75 lead on the Spurs. As San Antonio started getting a little closer into this game, but Charlotte made sure that they are still out of reach as the Hornets have led this game the entire time. They want to make sure it'll stay like that, and they'll be able to hold on in this game as we still got to get to the fourth quarter, but we cannot get to the fourth quarter until we finish the third. So we still have 3:45 remaining in the third quarter. Let's see how it'll finish out. Here is Richardson. He gives it up. Here's Primo. Primo on the drive. Takes the shot. No, he does not. He tried to pass, and that is a big mistake by Primo. Turns it over, and it'll be Hornets ball. As Jordan, as you can see Michael Jordan right there, as there is Dennis Smith gives it up to Hayward. Gordon Hayward on the drive. Nice move by Hayward back out to Thor. JT Thor. McDaniels a long three off the mark. Thor tips it, but he cannot come down with it. And here come the Spurs. McDermott pass to Johnson. He's been hot from downtown, not able to keep it going as Hayward comes up with the rebound. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Richards on the drive. Decides to give it up. This is Dennis Smith. bouncing off defenders. And here we go. Richardson to Smith. Dennis Smith, 5 on the shot clock. Smith driving left to right. Tough shot, short. It did not hit the rim, apparently. Apparently, his shot did not hit the rim. I thought that hit the rim. Even Steve Clifford, I thought that hit the rim. That hit the rim? Oh, yeah, that definitely hit the rim. What are they talking about? What? Might have been just probably messed it up. It's still Hornets basketball. That was messed up. As for any baseball fans out there, the Yankees are tied with the Astros 1-1 in Game 1 of the ALCS, as Josh Donaldson is batting right now for New York. It's back to our game. McDaniels throws it into Richards. This is Dennis Smith. 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Hayward with it. 5 on the shot clock. Screen by Richards. Back out. Dennis Smith. He's got to fire it up. He puts up a long 3, and he's got it. Dennis Smith, actually going to say it was a long 2, but he's able to get it into the nets, as the Hornets now have a 91-75 lead with just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rejection by Smith. Spurs still have it. It's a 3 off the mark and a rebound by Gordon Hayward. A highlight reel play by Dennis Smith as Gordon Hayward brings up the ball, and game just stopped for a moment. I don't know what happened. That was an outstanding play by Dennis Smith on the block. As we're going to look at Dennis Smith, that was that tough shot that he was able to put up. That was a tough one. As 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, Nick Richards at the free throw line for Charlotte. As he hits the first one, able to fall. Charlotte now leading 92-75 as PJ Washington checks into the game. Gordon Hayward subs out for the Hornets. Same with JT Thor. As Thor gets his drink, heads to the sideline. As Nick Richards on his second free throw. And he goes 2 for 2 at the line. Hornets lead 93-75. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And your Hornets have an 18-point lead. Here's Primo. He gives it up to McDermott. McDermott on the drive, lost the ball, able to get it back. Josh Richardson for 3 off the mark, and a rebound by Richards gets pushed out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Spurs. No foul is called. He got pushed out of bounds. Book Knight wants them to review it. Let's see. Richards had the rebound. Then he got shoved out, but they're going to call it clean play, and it's going to be San Antonio. No, it's going to be Charlotte ball. Okay. Here is Smith. Gives it to Washington. They fake it to Smith. Washington on the drive, in trouble, and he gets it back. Washington, tough shot, gets rejected, and Primo gives it up ahead. Richardson, back out. A 3 by... it's off the mark. PJ Washington with the rebound. That was Vassell who put up the 3. Hornets are an 8-0 run here in the last 3 minutes. As PJ Washington and the Hornets looking to add on to that. Here's McDaniels. Looking around inside to Richards. Nick Richards. Back to Washington. Shot clock winding down. McDaniels puts up a 3 and he's got it. Jalen McDaniels from downtown. And the Hornets extend their lead 96-75. As we are under 1 minute to go in the third quarter. As here's Vassell on the drive. Puts up the shot. Gets rejected at the rim by McDaniels. And here come the Hornets. McDaniels on the drive. Trying to go all the way. Lost the ball. And it went off of his foot. And will go back to the Spurs. As McDaniels not able to finish the highlight reel. But he did get the big block on Vassell. On defense. It'll be heading back to the Spurs. With 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Primo gives it up. Richardson has it. Josh Richardson was open for a 3, did not take it. Primo's going to take a 3. That's off the mark, and a rebound by Washington, as there is a 5-second difference with the shot clock and the game clock. 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Hornets are on an 11-0 run in the past 4 minutes as they look to end or keep that run alive until going to the end of the third, and they do so with a Dennis Smith lay at the rim. And then here's Primo. 3 seconds. Primo, tough shot at the buzzer off the mark. And that is the end of quarter number 3. That was an outstanding block. As that is the end of the third quarter. The Charlotte Hornets have been absolutely owning this game. And it looked like the Spurs were starting to get back into it until Charlotte decided that they were going to take it over once again. 98-75 is your score at the end of the third quarter. We will go on break. When we come back, the final 12 minutes of basketball await at the AT&T Center. As I have to stop the commercial halfway, we are back for the fourth quarter. As this is Dennis Smith, who has it for Charlotte. Smith looking around, gives it to Washington. Washington backing down. Back to Rozier. Terry for 3, and he still got it. This man is having a night. Terry Rozier, a 3-pointer, and the Hornets have hit triple digits to start the fourth quarter. They leave 101-75. As here's Patel driving on Richards, back out to Johnson. Keldon Johnson gives it to Richardson for 3. Off the mark, Patel's got it again. And nearly lost it from Richards. This is Johnson on the drive. Good defense by Charlotte, and P.J. Washington takes it away. Here's Washington. Those are to the corner. Kelly Oubre for 3. In and out, and a rebound. Oh. This is a drive. Tough shot. It will not go. As Vassell gets fouled on the play. And for any baseball fans, Yuri Gurriel just nailed a 381-foot home run to deep left field. And the Astros lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. I'm a Yankees fan, so it's not looking good for us. Here's Vassell at the free throw line. And try to use the rim. Does not get it. Misses the first free throw. Vassell coming up for the second. As the Hornets leading 101-75. It's been pure dominance as Vassell nails the second free throw. 101-76, your score with under 11 minutes remaining in regulation. Here's Washington looking, gives it to Oubre. Kelly Oubre on the drive, and this one's going to go to the Spurs. Look like Hornets going to be penalized for something right here. As San Antonio's going to get the ball back. This is Trey Jones who has it. Jones being guarded by Smith. Here's Vassell back out to Potel. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson, 2-point jumper. He made it, but that's going to be waved off too. And now it's Charlotte basketball. So 2 straight fouls. All right, sorry about that. I did do something real quick. As the Hornets just nailed a 3-pointer. Kelly Oubre from downtown. They now lead 104-76. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Trey Jones kicks it back out to Vassell. Takes the 2-point jumper, and he's got it. And the Spurs, they cut down the lead 104-78. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. As the Hornets 10 minutes away from taking their first game of the season. Dennis Smith inside, Richards with the slam. And this game's getting ugly. Hornets now up 106-78. As here's Trey Jones. He's going to get a screen. Jones to Potel. Back out. This is a 3 by Johnson. Hits the back iron and a rebound by Trey Jones. He gives it to Vassell for 3. That is an air ball. And the Spurs cannot save it. Goes out of bounds. 9:30 to go in the fourth quarter. It's going to be Charlotte basketball. As the Hornets most likely will be 1-0 to start the season if they're able to just close out, not give up 28 points. Then they'll be able to win today's game and start off the season 1-0. Here is Rozier. Spinning left to right. In trouble. Kicks it back out to Kelly Oubre. Oubre on the drive, turning around, takes a tough shot. Rebound by Richards. He's in trouble and he slams it down. Nick Richards. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. We just gave up another home run. Oh. McCormick, just another home run for the Astros. And that ball goes out of bounds. And Richards, I don't know why they're showing Richards right here. He's got 19 points. Man, Richards is playing outstanding. He's got better stats than Mason Plumlee, I believe. I can check it out real quick. Let me check out the box score. And yeah, Nick Richards has better stats than Mason Plumlee. So he might have a change at the starting center job for our next game. I doubt it, though. Here's Rozier, makes a nice move, takes the tough shot, and he got it. Terry Rozier, 110-78. It is an absolute blowout here in San Antonio. Here's Jones. Drives inside the floater. Trey Jones, it drops. 110-80 is your score as Trey Jones has the float game going for San Antonio. Here is Rozier. Gives it to Hayward. Gordon Hayward, top of the key 3, and it cannot go. Trey Jones has it for San Antonio. Here's Jones. Back to Jones. Trey Jones. Floater, and he's got it again. Once again, I just said he had the float game going. He keeps it going with another floater. 110-82 is your score. Under 8 minutes to go in this game. The Charlotte Hornets have full possession of it. Rozier fakes out the 3. Oubre takes the 3. No good. Hayward tips it up. Richards with the rebound. He looked like he got fouled, and a foul will be called. This clock stops with 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter. As we got a close game with the Knicks and the Grizzlies, as the Grizzlies are up by 1 with about 20 seconds on the clock. Richards, he gets blocked. It is clean, and here comes Primo and the Spurs, and the layup is good by San Antonio. As That is Romeo Langford, third-year guy out of Indiana, gets his first points of the game. Makes it 110-84. Rozier inside. 2-point jumper by Washington, and it rattles in. PJ Washington and the Hornets extend their lead. 112-84 is your score. 7 minutes to go here at AT&T Center. Trey Jones thought about the three, gives it to Langford on the drive. A three-pointer is an air ball. Rebound by Trey Jones. Jones looking around. Takes a tough three over Rozier. Up in the air, and a rebound by PJ Washington. And here comes Charlotte. Washington, step in three, and he's got it from downtown. And another timeout is taken by the Spurs. It is just ugly here in Charlotte. Absolute blowout. 115-84. The Charlotte Hornets owning everything about this game. We'll be back right after this. You're watching live on the Carolina Cast. Welcome back to the Carolina Cast as the Charlotte Hornets have a 115-84 lead on the San Antonio Spurs. It's an absolute blowout. I mean, what else could I say? We played perfect tonight. So let's see how this game is going to end out. It should guaranteed be a Charlotte Hornets victory. We're going to see how it ends out. As here's 6 minutes to go. This is a drive by Primo. The shot will not go, but a foul is called with 4.6 seconds on the shot clock. As we can see, LaMelo Ball on the sideline. It hasn't needed to come in this game, and the Charlotte Hornets are still dominating, which is huge. As Nick Richards had an outstanding night for himself. 19 points, 7 for 13 shooting, 10 rebounds. He's only played, out of those 22 minutes, played outstanding. Only had the 19 points, only. And I have to say only for how well everyone else has played. He's played outstanding. Second free throw by Primo was good. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. 115-86 is your score with 6:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. It is Hornets basketball. As here is Smith, gives it to Hayward. Screen. Hayward looking around. Making a move, gives it back to Dennis Smith. We are at the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Mason Plumlee on the drive, lost it, goes out of bounds. And they're going to call that out on Gorgie Dang, the veteran out of Louisville. And Smith will throw it in. Looking for somebody, finds Plumlee. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Back out Gordon Hayward for three. And he's got it from downtown. Gordon Hayward. And the Hornets are just pouring it on late in the fourth quarter. 118-86 is your score. Here's Primo. Gives it to Dang. Dang looking around. And back to Trey Jones. 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Dang back to Jones. Trey Jones on the drive. Lost the ball. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And it looked like a foul was committed by Dennis Smith, which should take Trey Jones to the free throw line. Hey, and here's something that was kind of funny to me. I know, like I was talking about earlier on the stream, the line on this game was even. And it was supposed to be Charlotte by 3 before we knew about the LaMelo injury. Then going to today, the line on the game was even. So according to ESPN, the game was up for grabs. And now Charlotte leads 118-87. As Trey Jones makes the first free throw. This is the second one with 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. And Jones goes 2 for 2 at the line. As looks like Gordon Hayward will put it in. Oubre brings it up as the Spurs are going to play full court press. 5:30 to go in the fourth. Hornets moving it around. Hayward. And I don't know what that was, but it's going to be Spurs ball for some reason. And Socon will throw it in. And Spurs basketball here. Here's the drive by Primo. And he went for the dunk, not able to finish. The runner up ahead. Gordon Hayward shows you how it's done. Primo was not able to do the dunk, but Gordon Hayward showed him how to do one. And the Hornets now lead 120-88. 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Langford back out. And this one nearly stolen by Kelly Oubre, went off his hands. It'll stay with the Spurs with under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Charlotte Hornets are going to be 1-0 on the season. So we'll have to wait another 5 minutes for it to be official. Raise the roof. Gordon Hayward, runner-up dunk. And Charlotte just pouring all of it on right now. Hayward's played amazing, bro. Like, this entire team, I'm just surprised how amazing they've played without LaMelo Ball. Here's the pass to Plumlee, and he lays it in. Mason Plumlee. And the Hornets now are up 122-88 with 4:35 to go in the fourth. Mason Plumlee, 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. As here's Dang, gives it up. Langford goes inside. Floater off the mark. Rebound by Oubre. And Charlotte's going to take it slow here. It's got still 4:20 left, and another timeout is taken. So the Charlotte Hornets are most likely going to be crowned the winner of this game. They lead right now. 122-88 is your score with 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Carolina Cast. As we can see, some of the bench warmers are in the game. We're going to get our first look at all the guys. As here's Book Knight with the ball. Gets a screen. No, does not actually. This is Kai Jones. Back to Book Knight. Book Knight for three. It is short and a rebound by Dang. Here is Langerford. I believe that's how you say it. And gives it up. And near steal by the Charlotte Hornets. That was nearly stolen by Theo Maledon. Instead, Romeo Langford was able to keep it with the squad. That's here into Dang. Looking around, gets an inside Scochin, missed the dunk. McGowan's trying to get the rebound, goes off of Langford. And it'll be Hornets ball with under 4 minutes to go in this game. As we take a look at Kai Jones. Bryce McGowan puts it into Theo Maledon. Maledon looking. And he's going to give it to Book Knight. No, he won't. Gives it to Mark Williams. Gives it back to Maledon. Theo Maledon looking for some room. Finds Bryce McGowan for three. That's off the mark. Rebound by Kai Jones, but he gave it right to Dang. And the Spurs will take it over. Here's Primo. Looking around. On the drive. Primo lost the ball. And it'll stay with San Antonio. Clock stops with 3:16 on the clock. Hornets still lead 122-88. As an absolute blowout victory for Charlotte is upcoming in the next 3.5 minutes. Here's Dang. Looking around. And he's going to give it up to Langford. Goes on the drive and he lays it in. 122-90 is your score with 3 minutes to go at the AT&T Center. Book Knight gives it up to Maledon. Back to Book Knight on the drive. Bryce McGowan to Maledon. Kai Jones in the corner for three, and he's got it from downtown. Kai Jones drills a three, and the Hornets lead 125-90. As at the other end, there is the dunk by San Antonio, and one is called as Mark Williams not able to make the defensive play. As we go back to that nice three by Kai Jones in the corner, he drilled that from downtown. As Hornets, yeah, they love it. They love it when these guys are able to go out there and get points. As free throw is in. 125-91 is your score. As they actually do not call it the dunk. That won't count. I believe the foul was made before the dunk. Here's Book Knight. Gets a screen by Williams. Book Knight in the corner to McGowan's, and the play's called dead. McGowan's would have made the three. I think Mark Williams is called for the charge right there. So that was not the most clean screen we'd like to see. It'll be San Antonio's ball. 2:32 to go in the fourth quarter. As this game is pretty much over. But the Hornets just got to close it out. Langford on the drive. Off the mark. Rebound by Maledon. Here come the Hornets. McGowan's. And he turns it over. As here come the Spurs now. Here's Dang. Gives it up to Primo. Primo on the drive. And he dunks it down. Primo gets inside the paint. No Hornets home. 125-95 is your score. As see many Spurs fans out of their seats right now heading home after an absolute blowout and an outstanding performance by the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Here's Maledon on the drive. Theo Maledon, and he is fouled. He will go to the free throw line. As the clock stops with 1:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Theo Maledon will have 2 free throws for Charlotte, as he is a new addition to the squad. Maledon on the first free throw, and he drills it. Makes it 126-95. Second free throw by Theo Maledon. And he's got that too. 2 for 2 at the line for Maledon. Hornets up 127-95. Primo brings it up for San Antonio. And he gives it up to Langford. Langford, flow to game, won't go. Dang back out. A three by Primo. That's off the mark. And a rebound by Mark Williams. And here's Maledon with it. It's going to take it a little bit slow for Charlotte. Up top for Williams as play is ruled dead. Wasn't the best pass to Williams, by the way. I don't know what that was. I didn't like it. As looking at some of the great Spurs, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan. As here's Dang. Does not give it up. Decides to give it up to Primo. Driving inside. Back out. Scochin to Dang. Shot clock winding down. Dang, tough shot, and he got it. 2-pointer inside the paint. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The Yankees just gave up another home run. It's 4-1. Man. 53 seconds remaining here in the fourth. As Mark Williams is at the free throw line. Was an outstanding center at Duke. And now finds himself with the Charlotte Hornets after he was selected with the 15th pick in the draft. Here's Williams on his first free throw. And he's got it to go. The second free throw by Mark Williams. Let's wait on it. 53 seconds remaining. Hornets just adding to their total right now at the free throw line. Mark Williams. He goes 2 for 2 at the line. Hornets up 129-97. As this one's getting back to Primo. Coming up next on the Carolina Cast, we'll have a quick pregame show before we send it off. And there's a 3 by Dieng, and it's good. And the Sixers are, and the Spurs, not the Sixers. I'm just naming a bunch of teams now. The Spurs are able to get into triple digits right before this game ends. 30 seconds. Book Knight, a deep 3. It's off the mark. Rebound by Primo. 25 seconds on the clock. So 3-second difference with the shot clock and the game clock. Here's the drive. And layup is good. And that was none other than Isaiah Roby, third-year man out of Nebraska. And that will do it. The Charlotte Hornets are 1-0 after an outstanding performance to the San Antonio Spurs. Your final score, your Charlotte Hornets 129 and the San Antonio Spurs 102. Stay with us here on the Carolina Cast. I'm going to go take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the Carolina Cast postgame show and then send you out from San Antonio. We'll be back right after this. Alrighty, welcome to the Carolina Cast post-game show. as right here, we are going to look into everything that happened in tonight's game, and then we will send you off from the AT&T Center. As here we go. For the Charlotte Hornets, PJ Washington played 30 minutes in tonight's game, went 7 for 11 shooting, 3 for 4 from downtown, had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 17 points. Outstanding stat line. Gordon Hayward, 29 minutes, 6 for 11 shooting, 1 for 4 from downtown, 7 for 7 at the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and that total gives him 20 points tonight. Mason Plumlee played 22 minutes, went 5 for 9 shooting, 2 for 2 at the free throw line, had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block to total that with 12 points. The Hornets' leading scorer tonight was Terry Rozier, who played 30 minutes, 10 for 19, 4 for 7 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a block, had 24 points for Charlotte. Kelly Oubre started off very hot and played pretty mediocre in the second half, but that's all they needed out of him. 5 for 11 shooting, 1 for 3 from downtown, 2 for 3 at the free throw line, had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and finished with 13 points. Let's look at some of the big guys off the bench, including Nick Richards, who had an outstanding game for Charlotte. Played 21 minutes, 7 for 13 shooting, 5 for 7 at the free throw line, had 10 rebounds and a block to give him 19 points. And Dennis Smith Jr. had 21 minutes. He went 5 for 7 on shooting, 2 for 2 from downtown. Did not at the free throw line tonight, but he had 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And the Hornets, they scored 30 points in every single quarter. They scored 38 in the first quarter, 30 in the second, 30 in the third, and 31 in the fourth. And the San Antonio Spurs, they scored 20 in every single quarter. They scored 22 in the first, 25 in the second, 28 in the third, and 27 in the fourth. So this game was not even a contest, pretty much, if you look at that stat line. And that is about it for today's stream. I'm Krish Verma here. The Carolina cast is going to have to end tonight with a huge win for the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball. And to start off the NBA season, the Hornets are 1-0 after their big win to the San Antonio Spurs, 129-102. The Carolina cast will see you again Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The Charlotte Hornets are taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. And then this Sunday, the Hornets are playing the Hawks at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We will also have the Carolina Panthers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers game at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So Sunday will be a doubleheader. Stay tuned for that. And for all further updates, go ahead and subscribe on our YouTube for all the updates on the Charlotte Hornets, the Carolina Panthers, and for all these live streams. And then on Twitch, if you want to watch each and every Carolina Panthers and Charlotte Hornets live stream, please go ahead and follow us right there. That is it for today's stream. I'm Krish Verma, and we say so long from San Antonio. The Hornets are 1-0 to start off the NBA season.